Bing. All right, so we've got Lloyd. Now, do me a favor. Pronounce the name of the car again, please.
Camargue.
Camargue. Camargue.
Yes.
Very good, very good. And you were saying that this was donated to the Rolls-Royce Foundation. Tell me about the Camargue.
Okay. So the Camargue came out in 1973, and it was in production until 1986. This is a 1986 last of the model car. This car was purchased new by a member of our club at Bentley Bethesda, and it's a one-owner car. He recently passed away, and his family donated it to us. So we're very, very pleased to have an example of a very rare car. Only a few of over 500 of these were made over the run. The body is also the only Rolls-Royce that was designed out of house. The body was designed by Pininfarina in Italy. It is a polarizing car. Many people like it. Many people think it's the ugliest thing Rolls-Royce ever made.
I know, so many people said it looked like a Volvo.
People, it also has the most glass of any car of its period. It has a very, what we call slab-sided or a flat-sided design. It looks like something from the 1970s.
Yes.
The grille, also very different for Rolls-Royce. The grille is actually angled forward just a little bit, which you can see if you look at it on. That was never done on any other car.
Very aggressive. My gosh.
This was the top of the line, the most expensive car that Rolls-Royce made, aside from the Phantom 6, which was so unusual you don't really count it.
Yeah.
And this car got all of their new technology. Whenever they wanted to try something new, they tried it on this car first.
Show me what some of the unusual technology.
Well, for instance, this was the first car to have bi-level air conditioning systems.
Oh, okay.
And they...
Could you show us the interior?
Sure. So they tried it on this car and used it as a
test.
And then, when they figured it out, then they moved it on to the Corniche and then eventually the Shadow 2.
Oh, this
car is completely coach built. There's nothing standard here. Although it is a quote unquote factory body, it's not like any other Rolls-Royce made from the time. None of the parts are really interchangeable or anything like that.
My gosh, even the steering wheel is different.
Yeah.
It was the most expensive car you could buy this year.
It was.
Wow.
Absolutely. Very.
And a bit of a dog in the marketplace, but whatever. Now it's
they made few of them. They didn't sell, very well. It was a targeted market,
it was a
shall we say?
Car.
Yeah. This car has one of the unfortunate things about this car is that if it is let go, not cared for, it really looks terrible. Like you see an awful lot of Rolls-Royce Silver Shadows that have been neglected.
Yeah.
And somehow the car still manages to look pretty darn good and convince people to spend $6,000 on eBay to buy one.
Yeah.
This car, when it is let go, looks absolutely terrible. And most of them are in bad shape. But when you see one that is right, it's a completely different car and it convinces you to love it. I think it always has me.
This is a phenomenal car. Here we go. Oh, it closes with good authority.
Yeah, the doors have great feel, don't they?
Yes, they do. Now show me the, oh shit, I forgot the body manufacturer. At the end, the 46.
46 Freestone and Webb.
Right. That is another fascinating car. I still can't get over the metal flake of this spur. That's interesting. But so many.
Were you here? I don't know if I've said this to so many people. I apologize. I can't remember if I said it to you. So this car was originally owned by the Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh, the Indian cult leader who set up a compound in Oregon in the 1980s. And his followers bought him 100 of these.
100?
He had 100 of them, most of them with very outlandish paint jobs. And this is one of his cars. It was also recently donated to us by someone in Florida.
Oh my gosh.
This paint job, as strange as it is on a Rolls Royce, is very subdued for his cars.
Really?
We were kind of disappointed that it wasn't worse. It's bad, but it's not as bad as it could have been.
Oh jeez, unreal.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's kind of cool. I mean, you know, celebrity ownership. But he's a bizarre individual. And actually, right now, there's like a 4 or 5 part documentary on Netflix that you can watch about him.
Really?
And I'm sure that you can see parades of his Rolls Royces in that documentary. I haven't watched it, but a lot of people.
Isn't religion wonderful?
Yeah. He eventually got run out of the country by the IRS on tax evasion charges.
Of course, he didn't make enough to pay tax. I love it. Now it's Freestone and Webb.
Right. So Freestone and Webb. This is right after World War II. There were still legitimate coach builders still doing business. Freestone they specialized in this body style, which is called the top hat or razor edge. They say that the roof line kind of imitates a man's silk top hat. The razor edge is characterized by sharp corners, and the top hat by a little lower in the front. Right after the war, this style of coach building really faded out very quickly because it was too expensive.
Right.
Tastes had changed. People wanted to go into a Rolls-Royce dealership and buy a car ready-made.
Yes.
They didn't want to go through the process of commissioning a custom body.
Because this is fascinating. Now you're saying this is all aluminum?
It's aluminum skin over an English ash wood frame.
My gosh.
So it drives very much like a pre-war car. And the headlights, of course, look like a pre-war car.
Right.
It wasn't long after 1946 when it became common for big headlamps like this to shrink down and get flared into the fenders.
Yes.
Much more like the Cloud does.
Right, of course.
So these are called R100s, these lamps.
Yep. Oh, I thought it was P100. Okay, R100.
On a pre-war car, they would be called P100s.
Okay.
But on a post-war car, these would be called R100s.
Okay, very good. Very good. Oh, this is beautiful. What intrigues me, of course, is the dual side mounts fully covered, which is interesting, and the flare.
The dual side mount with covers is one of the unique features of this particular body. That Freestone only ever built one of these, and that's part of it.
This is it.
Unfortunately, because on a pre-war car, the car would have sat a lot higher, and so these side mounts would have actually been below the level of the bonnet.
Yes.
As cars got smaller, now you see these things look a little awkward because they're just too high.
Yes.
But the original owner wanted them, so he got them.
Yep. And I really like the door treatment here, which is remarkable. The flare.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. This is in the days when running boards were going out of fashion. And the doors were starting to flare out over the running boards.
Yes.
But they were still keeping the running boards. They were just hiding them a little bit.
Yes.
And then they continued the hiding theme by having these, which we call spats. Over top of the wheels.
Lovely. And I love the taper down like the Hooper bodies.
Yeah.
That was nice. Now, when you open the door, you won't see wood, of course. You'll just see metal. Yeah, you see the way how the edges are all metal.
Yeah.
And look at the way how that flares down.
Yeah.
The fit and finish is beautiful. Just beautiful.
This car was owned by a man named Dr. Robert Broad, who lived outside Philadelphia somewhere. And he bought this car and had it fully restored for his daughter's wedding. And I believe in 1994. And then after the wedding, he donated it to us.
Oh,
In this condition, he did everything, and we got the benefit.
what a nice gift.
Yeah.
Gee, interesting wedding gift. This is beautiful, just beautiful.
Yeah. Now a lot of people say one of the myths about Rolls Royces is that they never break down.
Ha!
Well, I can attest that they do, because I have been left on the roadside twice by this car and had to call AAA and have it flatbedded home.
Oh gosh, fuel
actually-
pump.
Fuel pump, exactly.
You can't reach it to smack it with a hammer. It's
Yeah.
that stupid Lucas with the points in it.
So this is actually the first time that this car has been out of the museum. Of course, this is the first time any of these cars have been out of the museum because of COVID in a long time.
Yeah.
But this car, it left us twice
Oh,
in the hot
jeez.
sun on the side of the road.
Oh,
and we got
my
mad
gosh.
at it, so we put it in a corner and said, "You're in timeout for a while."
Ha!
But we've gotten back to it, got it back on the road,
Good.
and it's a star. I mean, just
Oh, she's
it's so
magnificent.
beautiful.
She is. She is. Lloyd, I've got to thank you so very much. This
Well,
is
it's my pleasure.
fantastic.
I could spend all day talking about these cars. It's my favorite thing in the world. I'm really glad you came by.
Well, we've got to stop by the
Yeah, come and see us.
museum, definitely. Thank you, Lloyd.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.